Hiya, it's Hayley and welcome to another video. Today I am dressed up because I am getting ready to go out, but I have a little bit of time, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit chaotic, but I wanted to have a bit of an informal chat with you, just catch up and let you guys know what's been going on, because it's been a while since I posted. A little tiny gap. The last video that I made, if you haven't seen it yet, is donating, cutting and dyeing my hair. I straightened it today and I love how it looks when it's straightened. It's so nice. I have touched it up since the video. I tried to do a little raccoon tail and it really did not work, and it's pretty much faded now, so yeah, that's good. You can see my roots growing through as well, which is weird to have a blonde person growing like blonde roots, because I never see that. That's what it looks like. Anyway, at the start of the academic year I made a few videos about kings, and I wanted to return to that and just tell you guys about my experience so far. So you might have got the impression in one of my first videos at King's that I wasn't too happy with the organisation, and I assumed that that would sort itself out, but it kind of didn't. I am studying early modern history and I have 3 classes, 5 hours of teaching a week, and I do this full time. So I'm in 2 days and I can pretty much do all of my work for the class in those 2 days, as well as the classes themselves. I've not found the course particularly challenging so far because not everyone in my classes has been studying history, so I assume they're catching people up, but we had a reading week last week and this week has been week 6, so we're going on to week 7, sort of 2/3 of the way through the autumn term, and I've not been incredibly happy with it. So I have actually asked to audit another class from the medieval studies course. I think it's from medieval studies, or it could be from medieval history, but it's another medieval module, and I have been much preferring the way that the medieval modules have been run generally. So I'm kind of left feeling like I picked the wrong course. As much as I love early modern history, I just feel like the focus of it it's just not there. Like, the Reformation's barely been mentioned, and you would have thought that's one of the key points of anyway, I'm getting far too into the nitty-gritty, but yes, I was disappointed with the workload, considering I'm paying 10 grand to study this full-time for a year and I pretty much only have 2 days of work a week. So I am auditing an extra class, which is actually coincidentally still on the same day. It's still on a Monday morning, so I still only have to go in 2 days a week, but I'm hoping that I will learn a lot more that coincides with my interests, and hopefully it will give me some inspiration for some research. And I've also just handed in my first assignment, so it'd be interesting to see how that goes. I'm not feeling particularly confident about it because I felt like we weren't really given any instruction on how to do it, and it was a style that I'm unfamiliar with, so that's going to be interesting to see how that went. And I've got another 2 projects that I'm working on, one for the end of this term and one for January, so I'm hoping to get that done within the next sort of 5 weeks, so that I can have a really nice break at Christmas time. But anyway, enough about assessments. Being in 2 days a week has really impacted my social life. I found it hard to make friends and difficult to join societies, clubs, like extracurricular activities, which normally I do a lot of, and I've just generally not been very involved in anything really, which is very much not like me. I feel like my mental health lately, as much as I've been feeling fine, I clearly haven't been fine because I've not been myself. Over reading week, having that break really gave me some time to think about how I am living my life at the moment, and I realized I wasn't very happy, and I am currently in the process of making some changes, and I am here to show you what that's all about. I want to give you guys this message that it's never too late. I started freaking out last week, being like, oh my god, it's too late, I'm already halfway through the term, I'm only here for a year, that's a big chunk of time, and I felt like I'd just wasted it. Not getting close to anyone, not improving myself, not just getting stuck into things, trying new things, enjoying my postgrad experience. And then I thought about why this was happening. Why hadn't I got stuck into everything that I otherwise would have? And I think because I'm commuting 2 days a week, I'm thinking about money, I'm thinking about time, I'm thinking about my family a lot more. I'm not living the student life, being at home and commuting. It's a very different experience, and I really wasn't prepared for just the sheer difference. I thought it would be fine. It's so much harder to go out, meet up with people, get close to people, when I'm constantly thinking, okay, well, you know, where am I gonna stay? Like, if I go out, how am I gonna get home? Where am I gonna stay? Who am I gonna stay with? I'm not close enough to stay with anyone in London, if that makes sense. Nights out in London are very expensive, and so that's another factor that I have to take into consideration. But I had a good chat with people close to me, and one of them said, this whole time I've been making excuses as to why I can't do things instead of putting into action plans to allow myself to do them. So this is me from now on making some changes to make my life happier. So one of those changes is I have been trying to socialize a lot more, trying to arrange to meet people on the days that I'm in at lunchtimes and after uni. And I met up with some friends from York, I met up with someone I hadn't seen in a very long time. I went to a social for a society, which I hope to continue to be a part of, Philosophy Society. Shout out, you guys were really nice. And they've got a few events coming up that seem interesting. I had a closer look at sports teams, and I really want to join one properly. I think I'm going to start that in January because it's difficult to, obviously teams have already had tryouts and things like that, and I think my timetable is going to change next term, which hopefully will help me out. So yeah, socializing, sports. I am working on changing the way that I do budgeting so that I'm not worrying so much about the cost of everything as well, and then I'm not stressing so much about the financial impact of commuting to London, socializing there, spending more time where things are just generally more expensive. And personally, I'm just very grateful that I have people around me who are so supportive, who I can talk to about these things, who are there to help me, listen, make suggestions, and be honest with me about the decisions that I'm making and the position that I'm in. I think honesty in friendship is so important, and it's really how you tell who your friends are. I've been reflecting a lot recently on how people are nice and you can have friends that are nice to you but won't necessarily tell you the truth, whether they feel like they don't want to hurt you or they aren't close enough with you to tell you difficult things. There are many factors as to why someone's just a nice friend, but I've realized what I need is not nice friends. What I need is honest friends. Constructive criticism, being able to take that on board is so important to personal growth, and that's what I'm all about at the moment. You know, at this stage in my life, I'm young and I'm molding myself into the person that I want to be, and I'm learning how to do that, and it's not going to be perfect. I'm 21. I've grown an awful lot. I'm very proud of the person that I've become today, but I am by no means the finished product, and I am still in this in-between stage where I feel more like a girl than a woman, and I really feel like there's a lot that I don't know. Not so much academically at the moment. My focus has been more on knowledge of life and knowledge of myself and what I want, and the truth is I still don't know what I want. I love doing YouTube. I want to dedicate more time to it because it brings me so much satisfaction. I want to spend more time outdoors in nature because it gives me peace of mind. Not even peace of mind, like spending time in nature, it gives me peace, it gives me calm, it gives me space to think, and it makes me feel good. Fresh air and exercise makes me feel more grounded. I'm slowly learning the things that I value, and I'm trying to build those things into what my future might look like. But there's so many unknown variables, and you can't be expected to know exactly what you want before you've even tried things. I'm looking into changing my part-time job. I am taking extra classes. I am working on my relationships in a way that is more conducive to me. And this really brings me on to a topic that I think about all the time, which is selfishness. What is it to be selfish? Is it necessary to be selfish? I always describe myself as a selfish person, and a lot of people react to that very strongly and they say, no, you're not a selfish person, you're kind and conscientious and you're sweet and you're a nice person and you're good, you're not selfish. But what I mean by being selfish is knowing myself, putting myself first, being on my side. You have to look after yourself and you have to put your needs before anyone else's. I always return to this metaphor of putting on your own oxygen before you help somebody else. Selfishness is often seen as a negative thing, but caring too much about everyone else can really hold you back. I seem to believe that I was far too selfish, and I had to put others first from now on. I had to think more about my family and my partner and be there for them more and be better in my relationships with others somehow. But none of that matters unless I am a well-rounded individual in myself. I can't bring joy to other people when I'm not happy myself. I thought that living for yourself exclusively was a bad thing, but I think actually it can be a strength. That's not to say be an asshole. You don't have to be a dick to others and not think about anyone else. I think what it means is that you have to care for others, but you have to care for yourself first. Wow. At first, I was very upset because I thought that me being so unhappy lately meant that I could never be anything else. I could only ever be selfish. That's what made me happy. If I wasn't selfish, then I would just be miserable, and I didn't like that. I didn't like thinking that I was a bad person. Nobody does. But with a little help, I've been able to reframe it in my mind in a positive way, that actually living for yourself and putting yourself first is important and it's necessary and it brings freedom. And at the end of the day, freedom is what I crave more than anything. The freedom to do what I want, say what I want, go where I want. I don't have evil desires. I want to travel the world. I want to bring joy to others. I want to spread the love that I've received in different ways. But all of that comes from this light in me, this fire, and if it's just a candle, it can't keep anyone warm, but if it's a burning inferno, then I can. This is a terrible metaphor. The important thing is This is so rambly. I'm so sorry. I hope the message is coming across. But the important thing is that it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to put yourself first, and it's actually necessary. I've found for my own personal mental health, you just have to do it. You just have to say, this is what I want, and go for it. And don't give a shit about anything else. Don't hold yourself back, being so preoccupied with what other people might think, how they might feel, not being able to be there when somebody may or may not need you there. You know, you just have to say, fuck it, this is what I want, this is what's gonna make me really happy, I'm gonna go and do it. And it's such an easy thing for me to say here on a camera in the comfort of my warm family home when life is not that easy. But it's a principle, and it's one to keep in mind. No more excuses. We live for today. So, with all that nonsense out the way, I'm going to hopefully show you guys a vlog of this week and maybe next week as well, to point out some of the changes that I've been making, what shape my life is in right now. I want to use this as a way of encouraging myself, and I want to challenge myself. I want to change. I want to put the colour back in my life. I was so excited by everything. Everything was romanticized when I was in York. I loved it. It was amazing. I was sad because of things going on in my life, but the life that I was living itself was great. I used to romanticize everything, and now I romanticize nothing, and I want to get back to that. And I will be doing another video about romanticizing things because A, that's a very popular topic, and B, I think it's one that I used to be very good at and I need to remind myself of it. So it would be useful for me as well as hopefully for you guys. So please subscribe if you want to see that. Shameless plug. And also if you want to see a vlog of what my week has looked like and where I'm going tonight, then make sure you tune in for the next video, which will not be as long to come out as this one has been because it's been busy. I've been working things out in my little noggin, and I am finally at a stage where I have an action plan that I want to share with you guys. So I hope you can, well, I don't hope you can relate because it's not a nice situation to be in, but it's one of the nicer problems to have in life, and I'm definitely very grateful that I'm here in this situation this year than the one that I was last year, because I was not having fun last year, and I am hopefully gonna have some fun this year. I am determined to make December freaking awesome. So yes, if you're here for positive energy and chaos and freedom and loving yourself, keep watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. It means so much to me. You guys are not just numbers on the screen. You are incredible. And you have raised over £150 for cancer research from my previous video. Thank you so much to everyone who's donated. You guys are amazing. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Oh my god, that was so chaotic.